So let's treat this like you're getting back to people, right?
Listen up.
Right, listen up. Clock the tea, okay, as the kids would say. So what do you say to people when they're like, how did you do this, or how can I do this? What do you tell them?
Start. I know that's easier said than done, and you hear that from everybody, but it starts with you. Just by getting up. The longer we sit and look at what everybody else is doing, oh my gosh, I gotta go see this YouTube channel, I gotta go listen to this, you prolonging what you got going on. So I would just say get up and start, and think about, like they say, think about the why. Like, why do you want to do what you want to do? And just go for it.
Welcome to I'll Just Let Myself In, the podcast with your girl, Lish Speaks. We are back for another week, and I'm excited because we have someone in the house that is very dear and special to me. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an influencer. She's a chef. She's a mom. She's an all-around boss. Those of us who love and know her, we know her as Rhea, but you may know her as Boss's Kitchen. Give it up for Rhea, everybody. Woo! Yes. I'm so hyped to have you here.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Girl.
I've been waiting. You got me here.
I got you on the couch. We are going to really talk about the pivot that you made during the pandemic.
Man.
Because before that, we didn't know you as Boss's Kitchen. And so I know a little bit of the behind the scenes story. And I'm excited for my listeners and viewers to be able to hear, because it's such a story of inspiration, a story of trusting in God, and a story of letting yourself in and not waiting for anyone to give you an opportunity to walk through your God-given doors. So we're about to get into that. But before that, you guys already know we have the best segment on podcast television, and it's called what? Podcast television? We have the best segment. We have the best segment in podcasting, and it's called What I'm Stepping In. It's where I talk to you about the sneakers that I have on for the episode and what I love about them. Today, I'm wearing the undefeated Air Force One collab in the Celestine blue colorway. And when I tell you this shoe is so dope. First of all, I love a colorful shoe. You already know that. If you watch this podcast, you know I love a colorful shoe. I love patent leather and different textiles. The cool thing about this shoe is that although the whole shoe is patent leather, there's a gum bottom, and then the check is translucent. So it kind of gives you a couple different textures. I love the tongue of the shoe, which is like a peanut butter type of color, and it has the undefeated logo on the tongue. You got a little toe box charm that says undefeated. There's a real name for that. I can't remember what it is, but that says undefeated. And I just really love the attention to detail that undefeated goes into when it collabs with any brand, but specifically with Nike. I love this shoe. I think it's so much fun. Eventually, I will collect every colorway. This is the first one that I got my hands on, and it got a little pink, purple, blue, and brown in it. All colors that I love, all things that I love to style up. And y'all know how we do it here. If you love them, go get you some. So, boss, the boss of all bosses.
Lord.
Let me tell y'all something. I keep wanting to say your real name. Rhea.
Rhea
actually catered my wedding.
Yes.
So when I tell y'all this is fam, this is fam. Like,
y'all had some good food.
First of all, okay, let me tell you, there's two things people talk about when they talk about my wedding.
Okay.
The worship at the wedding and the food at the reception all the time. People be like, yo, that food? I be like, I tried to tell you. Here's the link.
So good.
Amazing. Now, you know your food is good when you got to say it's good.
Right.
But it's good. I feel like you cook from your soul.
I do. I love to cook. And when you love something, you're gonna put your all into it.
Yeah.
So I love it.
I love it. So I met you as my older sister. Shout out to my sister Sephra. Shout out to Sephra. As her hairstylist.
Yes.
Now, this is pre-pandemic. And I had just moved to Georgia. And she was like, yeah, you know what she was telling me, which this is, she's locked up now, but this is when she was getting fried, dyed, and laid to the side, honey. Okay.
Wigs and all.
Wigs and weaves and all that, which is still my testimony. Yeah. And so, you know, I knew you as her hairstylist, and she would always tell me about you and y'all conversations and just how inspirational you were and how cool you were. And then during the pandemic, something kind of switched up. So give my viewers a little bit of your story, your background.
So I was a salon owner for 6 years. I was running my salon. During the pandemic, everything shut down. Like, I was inside of Town Center Mall in Kennesaw. So they told us, hey, we can't come back. I had just got my home.
Wow.
A single mom. And I was like, man, what am I going to do? So behind the scenes, I was always cooking. So I would cook for family events, and people was like, man, you're going to go far with this. So the dream was always to cook and have my salon. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Baps, but I wanted to have like my restaurant and my salon. So once everything shut down, I went home one day, I prayed on it, and not to get too deep into it, but it was a lot of things going on with me health-wise. Also during the pandemic, it was weird. It was just weird stuff happening. I had these painful headaches. I was in and out the hospital probably like 3 or 4 times a week. Had 3 MRIs on my brain. We was trying to figure out what was causing this. So the doctor kept looking at me like, ma'am, nothing is wrong. I'm like, something is going on. It was weird. So
I love to tell a Black woman nothing is wrong.
Yeah, they said, but they had to keep doing it because, you know, it was weird. So I prayed about it, and God was like, you're going to have to pray this one out. So I prayed, I fasted. Then one day I just got up and I said, I'm not going to lay in the bed no more. I got up and started posting my food. Different dishes, and just showing that energy in the kitchen because I love having fun. I turn my music up.
We're going to talk about that.
And I'm good. So I just started posting, and one day it just went viral. Everything took completely off. A production company reached out to me, and I was like, hey, is this this thing playing? So I reached out to one of the lawyers. I asked him to read it over to make sure, you know, this is something. And it was. So just by just getting up, I pivoted during the pandemic. I just started posting and sharing, and it completely took off. From TV productions to celebrities reaching out. It went really far. And again, that was off of faith, prayer, and fasting.
So I love that. And we're going to get deeper into that. When you think about that moment, when you got that call from the mall, and I know exactly where your salon was. You walk in, it was one side, and there was like a yogurt place next to it. I can see it.
I'm right there.
Yeah. And you get that call from the mall. And mind you, beginning of the pandemic, we didn't really know how long this was going to last. You know, the president was saying that it would be over in 2 weeks. You know, we didn't know what was really going on. So you get that call. You had just gotten your home, as you said.
Yeah.
Got a beautiful son, which he's
taller
an
than me.
Amazing kid. I saw him the other day. I'm like, first of all, when did he get so slim and so tall like it happened overnight?
Huge.
Lord.
Size 12 in shoe.
Oh my goodness.
13.
Like he's just... Like, I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
When you posted the other day. But, you know, you got a kid. You got a child.
Yeah.
You got this home that you're trying to maintain.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think happened for you emotionally that said, I'm going to be all right? What happened?
Like, it was that faith. Like, I just laid there. I was crushed. I was hurt. I was like, I can't fail my son. I can't give up. I've always been like a driven person. So just laying there, I heard his voice clearly, like, get up. Yeah. You got this. I got you. I heard it clear as day, and I did not know. And that's when I just got up. I used what I had, the island in the kitchen, and I just propped my phone up in front of a book, and I just went to posting.
Now let's talk about that, because you said he told you to get up.
Yep.
You got up.
Yep.
You used what you had.
Yep.
And you posted. And I think there's such beauty in that, because a lot of times we think we have to have some sort of special magic or potion to make it happen.
Right.
When all you actually have to do is like obey. Right? You have to actually get up. And I can like come off as like a guru in that way sometimes, because I'm like you, I'm very driven. But I think what people don't often know about people like us is that we are struggling to obey. It's not easy.
It's not
we
easy.
We say it like, well, he told me to get up and I got up.
How you going to provide for this guy? What we supposed to do?
Get up and do what?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Say what? You
it's
know
not
what I mean?
easy.
And it's not easy. And I think there's such a beauty in people seeing people like you push through. Because there's a single mom somewhere who doesn't believe she can do it. And by seeing you, she goes, well, maybe I can. You know, one of the practices I have when I'm getting ready to film, whether it's a podcast or YouTube content or something for church or whatever, I like to watch other people who do it as well. Because I like to remind myself, like, oh, we're all regular.
Yep.
We're all regular.
Yeah.
If this person has 100,000 more followers than me, It's
no.
usually because they started
Yeah.
before I did.
Yeah.
Or they work harder than I do.
Yeah.
But it's not because there's some special sauce on them that
Mm-mm.
God didn't give me.
No.
And it really helps me. So what would you say, or what do you say? Because I know you like me.
Mhm.
We love an advice. We
Right.
were talking before the camera started about
Yeah.
how we need to really in 2025 be more wise, discerning, and selective about who we give our energy to in terms of trying to help people.
Yeah.
But what do you say? Because I know you get all the DMs, people reaching out to you for help.
Constantly.
And you can't get back to everybody. So let's treat this like you're getting back to people, right?
Listen up.
Right, listen up. Clock the tea, okay, as the kids would say. So what do you say to people when they're like, how did you do this? Or how can I do this? What do you tell them?
Start. I know that's easier said than done, and you hear that from everybody, but it starts with you. Just by getting up. The longer we sit and look at what everybody else is doing, oh my gosh, I got to go see this YouTube channel. I got to go listen to this. You're prolonging what you got going on. So I would just say get up and start and think about, like they say, think about the why. Like, why do you want to do what you want to do? And just go for it. And just remember, you're not going to have everything together. Yeah. You're not going to have all the money. I started off with $20 in my pocket for my first business. In this business, I started off the cooking with $50. So you may not have it all together, but just go and remember, don't look at the likes. Don't pay attention to all the views. Just post. Because I remember just having 2 likes or 16 likes and 2 views. And then one day I woke up and it was just a whole nother story. So I just say, do it. And don't worry about what people say, because no matter if you're doing good, bad, someone always going to have something to say. It doesn't matter. Do you, boo-boo?
Somebody really is always going to have something to say.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, and the truth of the matter, too, when it comes to even, like, starting with what you have, people need to see that. Yeah. Somebody needs to see your little janky iPhone video. Right. I just made a post about this because another creator, she goes by Brooklyn Betty. She talked about, just doing it. Do it with an eyelash mission. Do it with some of your braids fuzzy. Like, just do it. And I literally posted a video from last year. And I posted looking a little crusty and rusty. Phone. And guess what? That video helped me. It helped me go viral eventually. Because it was part of my 10,000 hours, right? And I think we've gotten away from the concept with all the like quick, quick virality and people, whatever we think is quick. We've gotten away from the whole idea of putting in your 10,000 hours. Like, I remember when I was coming up in music, that was a big deal. Like, you would sign a deal, a development deal. Or you would start working with a producer and you guys would lock in and understand. Yo, in the next 5 years, we're gonna be on. Right. We expected it to take time.
It takes time.
And so when it happens quickly, you get to be surprised. You get to say, "Oh, okay." But you're not you're not so easily discouraged when it's taking a while. And I think that's important. Another thing you said that I love is remember your why. And recently somebody said, I want to say it was Dr. Darius. I'm always quoting Dr. Darius Daniels. But I feel like it was him. But he said, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not good enough.
Right. Mine made me cry a lot. My dream is so, like, my vision is so big. I'd be like, dang, like every night I'm just like, man. And I know how much work it takes. Like, it's times where I get emotional when I talk about it. But it's times where you just working so much and you truly love what you do and you ready to see that outcome. And me putting in so many hours, and then as soon as I'm done, you rush home to be that mom, but you still love what you do. So you still trying to prepare for the next one. So you up at 2, 3 in the morning. Like, that's dedication. That's love. That's somebody that's driven. So think about like why, or, why you want this. And I promise you, like, you will go far with it. You will keep going. You won't give up. There's many obstacles that hit me to the point where it was like, you're not about to break me, because I know what I'm trying to get to. So just know your why.
I love that.
And just be unstoppable.
Yeah. And anyone who has watched any of your videos, if y'all haven't, go ahead and follow her BossesKitchen. I'm telling y'all gonna be cracking up, having a good time. You'll be jamming. Okay. Like,
I had to turn down a little bit because they be trying to mute stuff. But yes, I have fun in the kitchen.
You'll be having a good time. And as someone who I don't know all your business, but just knows that you've been through stuff. You talked about illness. I was raised by a single mom, so I know that being a single mom ain't easy. No. You're also not just a mom to your son, but you play that big sister auntie role to a lot of people, right? How do you find joy to push the, because you could literally be a faceless page and just show your hands making the food, right?
You can.
But you literally show the joy and the perseverance in your life through your dancing and your cooking and having a good time. How do you push through to do that?
One, because I love it. And I push through just knowing like this is who I am. Like I've always been this type of person. Yeah. Me dressing up, because some people be like, you don't have to. I know my son was like, Mom, you don't got to dress up every time you do a video, but you feel good when you dress up. When you go put that lip gloss on, put that little lash on, flat iron that hair, you feel really good. Yes. And I just enjoy catering to other people, making other people feel good. So imagine you scrolling on your page and you constantly seeing like negativity all day. Then you hit somebody's page and they just happy about life. They turned up. They're not putting on a front. It's just, that's that joy that God gave me that nobody can take away. Yeah. So, you know, I think that's what pushed me, just being who I am and just loving what I do. Yeah. I love that. I want to talk again about the whole idea of pivoting, because I've talked about this on the podcast before, but one of the things that I'm so grateful for in my personal life is that I am not just multi-talented. I'm willing to turn to a different talent when the Lord says so, right? Yeah. So, you know, you could have easily just said, okay, well, my salon is closing, but I'll just take clients in my home, or I'll wait until the pandemic is over, or whatever, right? Or you could have just said, well, I'll cook, you know, I'll sell plates, but I won't post it. Or, you know, there's a lot of ways you could have gone about this. I feel like a lot of times people block their blessings because they've told themselves, I'm a hairstylist. Yep. That's it. Yep. That's what I am. Yes, I can cook, but this is what I am. This is what I am. This is what I do. Yep. And, you know, I can relate for a time in my life of telling myself, well, you're an entertainer. You're a rapper. You're a Christian rapper. That's what you do. Yeah. But I've always loved fashion. Yeah. I love to cook as well. Right. I love to talk. Yeah. You know, and for me, it was hidden in plain sight because my name was Lish Speaks, not Lish Raps. Lish Speaks.
Catch the prophecy in that. Okay?
It was already there.
Because it was already there. Yep. But I was so stuck in, you know, and I love music and I will do music again. But God made it very clear at one point, like, you need to be speaking. You were one of the people who were like, nah, girl. Yep. I love when you do these videos. Why they so few and far in between?
It was so powerful. I'm like, where's Lish? Where's that video? The music banging, but it's something else deeper in her that I know it got to come out. And when I start seeing your videos, I'm like, there it is.
Thank you. She was in my DMs before I got consistent. Like, nah, girl.
It's there.
What we doing?
And I think sometimes we know it's there, but again, fear. Yep. You know, fear keep us in bondage. We worrying about our financial situation. It's a lot of things that make you try to hold back, and because we want to be comfortable. Yeah, because I'm comfortable with this job. You know, this pays my bills, and sometimes you have to step out that box. Yep. You got to take that leap of faith.
You got to be willing to pivot because you don't know what you need to be known for. You only know what you are known for. You know, you needed, people needed Boss's Kitchen. Yeah. Right? And if you would have been stuck in, no, I'm here. Because here's the thing, you always been able to do here.
Yeah, always.
That's not going nowhere.
Still do it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not going nowhere. The music is not going anywhere from all the other things we love are not going anywhere. But you can really, and I want you to speak on this in a second, you can really block your blessings when you refuse to see what God is highlighting in this season. Amen. Like if you posted a cooking video and people like it, even if it didn't go super viral at first, people like it, right? But you keep saying, well, that's not really what I do. I'm a hairstylist. Yeah. God is trying to tell you something.
Like, come on. Like, you know, I'm sending people your way to let you know.
Yes. Yeah. And so, you know, speak a little bit to how sometimes we can block our blessings if we're just not willing to follow what God is telling us to do.
Well, just bouncing back off what you said, you can block it by just not even believing in yourself. That blockage of fear. So if there is something inside of you that you know you should go do, I just say do it. And just don't let nothing hold you back. Because if I would have not stepped out on faith with the cooking, I probably would have still been trying to say, come to my house. I could do your hair. And my mindset would have still been stuck in that, but I would have missed out on so many opportunities. I never would have probably had a TV show. I never would have met the people who I met. I never would have not to be off topic, but this is like the most money I have ever made
That's
in
on
my
topic.
life.
That's very much on topic.
The most money I have ever made in my life was cooking. And that was because I was obedient and I stepped out on faith. And when I say obedient is that I heard it, like it kept bothering me. Like, hey, cook, go ahead. I had friends that came over, like, start the page, Taria. Just do it. Just post. And I was like, no, people gonna, I was doing all that, but I didn't. So if I didn't listen, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have the opportunities that I had right now by not, by leaning to my own understanding. Preach. If I would have leaned to my own understanding, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. That's the correct word.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people who are, struggling to figure out what's next for them, struggling to figure out like how to make money, struggling to figure out how to get themselves out of a situation that you're in. I tell them all the time, it's in your hands.
Yeah, the resources are there.
It's in your brain. Yeah. It's in your mouth. Yeah. God has put it in you already.
He's already
It's just a matter of figuring out the best way to use it and then actually listening. And we've all, I know I've definitely been, on the back end of like, dag, I wish I would have took this advice somebody gave me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I try to tell now, when a successful person tells me to do something, I do it. Yep. When they tell me to read something, I read it. Yep. When they send me a podcast, I watch it. Yep. When they send me a sermon, I listen to it. Right. Because I know what it's like to not have taken the advice.
But you got to remember what you said, the right person to send you the advice. Because sometimes you could receive information and advice from the wrong person. Yes. And everybody don't want to see you win.
No.
Somebody could tell you to stop right now because they don't want to see you excel. So they'll try to deter you to go somewhere else. So just be careful who you are allowing in your ear, who you are allowing to give you advice. I don't even let people pray over me all the time. I don't receive everything from everybody. So again, having that discernment, that plays a big role in this. Yeah. And it's not going to be easy. We make it sound easy. Yeah. We say all the resources are there, but you are going to go through something. You may have sleepless nights. Things may get a little tight. That's part of running a business. That's part of getting to that destination. Yeah. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it.
It will be worth it. And not only that, I love what you talked about, not letting everybody pray over you, not just having that discernment. There's so much. We were talking off camera about how, I do this podcast in my house and I'm very selective about my guests. We're not bringing everybody up in here. Everybody won't make it to the couch. Yep. It's just a very sacred space for me. And even in what you do, I love the fact that you always bring up your faith. Yeah. You ain't going to beat us over the head with it.
I'm going to let you know.
But you ain't hiding it at all.
No.
You talk about, your relationship with God and how, he's the one really keeping you going.
He is.
And I think it's so important for people who want to be influenced, who want to go viral. And it could be for anything. It could be for hair. It could be for food. It could be for blowing up balloons, right? If you have faith, and your faith has gotten you there, it's important to share it. Yep. It's just really important to share. People need to see that. And so a lot of that hope and light that you provide on that page, is from that.
It's faith. And you're looking at somebody that's been through the divorce, been through abuse, been betrayed, been set up by people. People tried to take me out. And I'm probably one of the nicest person you ever meet. It can stem from jealousy, it's a lot. So just not allowing all of that to just affect who you are. Be who you are. Yeah. Be you. Yeah. And I promise you, God, He will never leave you or forsake you. Yeah. Never.
I love that. Yeah. All right. So you cater, I didn't even say, I feel like that's beneath you, but you provide an experience.
Yeah. Experience.
For all types of people.
Yes.
You did my wedding, which I'm going to say was your best. It was amazing. But maybe without saying names, I don't know if you signed NDAs and all of that. But what has been one of the experiences that you were just like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, I can't believe this is my life right now.
It was just a lot of the TV productions that I dealt with. I cook for a lot of corporations, celebs too as well. I try to take the celebrity out of the celebrity chef, because I want people to know I cater to everybody, not just a certain group. Yes. But the best experience, I think, was when I was sitting in the TV productions and they kept calling me back. And when the CDC, the health department, reached out, I was like, yes, yes, you doing it, girl. Yes. So just getting that love from strangers, or when they send you an email and say, I heard about you, and you just get that feedback, it makes me feel so good. Like, thank you, God, I know this is you. Yeah. So I love that. All types. That's when I felt it. It's more of the TV production when I was just sitting there. I couldn't believe
it's just
that.
Big.
It was big.
Yeah.
And then they call you back. And then they ask you for other opportunities and that we can't speak on. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the callback because something that I feel like is missing a little bit in this generation are the soft skills and the qualities that get you called back, right? Because you can make the best food in the world.
Yeah.
If you get there and you act the fool,
right,
you're not getting called back.
You're not getting called back.
So what are
professionalism?
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the things, professionalism and the like, that you think help you get those callbacks and build those relationships. How do you build relationships in your industry?
Again, like building that rapport, and also you got to know how to deal with people, different personalities. If you already getting that feeling like, this seems like it's gonna be rocky, you know, you got to kind of decipher, you know, which way you want to go. But for my callbacks, it's mostly, I think, I know the food is good, but my personality.
Yes.
I'm good with people. The energy is there. And people know, like, I know she's going to give her all when she comes. I know she's going to be on time.
Yep.
I know she's going to do what she said she's going to do. So it's just being honest and making that client feel like they can trust you. They're going to call you back. And you bring that love. Oh, yeah. So that's why before any event, my phone is on D&D. It's certain things, any type of distractions I try to remove. That way, nothing is carrying on with me before I provide a service for somebody. Because people could tell
when you're distracted,
when something is going on or you're not giving your all. So I just say remove all distractions before you do any type of event or whatever you're doing. And just be honest with who you're working with, and give love, show love. Yeah, they can always come back.
Yeah, no, your energy is amazing.
Yeah,
like truly. When we were planning the wedding and talking through the food, she's like, "All right, can we do this and that? Let's try this." Like you will definitely help, you know, to make it make sense.
Right.
But you're also going to be honest about the need. Like, this is what needs to happen in order to get what you're asking me for. And I really did appreciate that.
Yeah. And you can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. You may run into them little hiccups, but it's always good to go back and say, you know, how can I fix this? Or, you know, what went wrong? Because some people, they just don't care. Yeah. So we're just showing that you care.
Yep. Yeah. And listen, all money ain't good money, right?
All money ain't good money.
Sometimes you have to turn down an opportunity.
I turned a lot. Yes.
So, okay. If you can think of a story, tell us. Use your discernment. With details. But tell us of a time you've had to turn something down because it just wasn't wise for you or wasn't for you.
Right. So earlier last year, I think this gig was like $7,500. And only I had to work for about 6 hours. And they were willing to pay, but something kept bothering me. I don't know what it was. Something just felt off, and my spirit's a little sensitive. Like, I catch on to a lot of stuff. So I let them, you know, we kept writing back, we kept emailing, and they was like, okay, well, what we can do is we could send the whole thing, you know, to you. And I usually require just a deposit. I said, no, we could just do the deposit, you know, and then as time get closer, then you could do your remaining. But they kept coming back, adding little things, and it just did not feel right. So what I did was I prayed on it. I called them people back that next day. I said, hey, I just want to let you know I will not be able to proceed or do this service. You know, I wanted to be honest. I really didn't give an explanation why. Yeah. I just said we won't be able to. Yeah. So I always say, and I won't get into deeper details, but listen to your body. If something feels off, just don't. And we're not talking about anxiety or worry. Like, you know when something is off. When people are moving a little different, or it just doesn't sound right. And just for your safety as well. No. 7,500. I had stuff to do, but no. And I heard it clearly. It was like, I mean, I could not sleep. So when it gets to that point, oh no, I'm not. I'm not gonna even risk it. God, I heard you clearly. I'm not risking it. So
where do you get your spirituality from? Did you grow up going to church?
Yes, my dad. We was in the church 4 days a week. We grew up in the church, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to get mad. I'm like, you don't have to go to church 4-5 times a day. I used to get upset. But as I got older, it stuck with me. You know, I found myself waking my son and my niece up at 3 a.m. We fasting this week. We praying. Let's go. You know, because you need that, especially with the world we living in right now. You need the prayer, you need the fasting, because there's so much going on. And I think with me doing that for so long, that discernment just came so strong. Like, I catch on quickly. That doesn't make you perfect. That doesn't mean you know everything. It's just, I don't even go certain places. I remove myself from a lot of things, not because people are bad. It's just like, something ain't clicking here. So let me remove myself from this, because whatever's going on, I don't want to be tied to something. I don't want to be in a mix. And then now it's on me, on me. So always just pray for discernment, and it's going to come. Yeah. So when you get them feelings, don't proceed. Yeah. I know it ain't worth it. It's not. It's not worth it. It sounds good, because that 7,500, did you know?
Right. 7,500 could have did a little something.
Could have did something that day.
Listen, but you know what I always tell people? Yeah. The price of disobedience is too high. You can't afford it.
Nope.
When the Lord tells you to do something, when His Spirit tells you to do something, and you disobey, you can't afford it. I promise you, whatever money you was going to make is not going to be able to afford what's going to come from that. And so it's super important. You talked about your dad for a second, and I love, first of all, you and your mom are twins. Yes. Let's start there.
Yeah, we are.
Twins.
She be trying to hide behind the camera.
Y'all are twins. When I saw you post, I was like, nah, that's your twin.
Yes.
But I see you with your dad, and he will go on jobs with you. And just, y'all look like y'all have such a tight bond. And I'm also a daddy's girl. I love my father. He's my twin. Yeah. And he's someone who I have so much in common with. And I think it's so important. I think it's so important for us as Black women, no matter what the relationship was when you were growing up or whatever, is that if you have a chance as an adult to let your daddy be your daddy. Yeah. Let your father be your father. Yeah. It is such a beautiful thing because I don't care how much I'm very loved by my husband. Yep. I'm very loved by my mother. I'm very loved by my siblings. Yep. There is something very specific about a father
being there. Yep.
There's something very specific about it. So, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give your dad his flowers and just talk about your relationship a little bit.
Just growing up, my dad had tough love, and I have tough love too. But growing up, he did have tough love. He was very particular about me. Like, he did not play. But he also...
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm like in the middle. It's 8 of us.
I'm the middle child. 8?
It's 8. So I have 2 sisters and 5 brothers.
Lord.
Yeah, but he didn't play about me. Yeah. No, I couldn't go a lot of places at a young age. He would be like, no. But he always said, I need dinner done by 6:30. So I think that's where the cooking came in at. Like, he had me constantly in the kitchen, or, when he's cutting the grass, to come out here and help me. Like, I was his little son or something. Like, no. And I used to get upset sometimes. I'm like, why I'm doing all this? But as I got older, even just being an independent woman, it taught me not to be so dependent on a man. We should, but just being able to handle things too. Yeah. And just that bond there, like, we have so much fun together, just cooking, and he does what I do too, but it's not as heavy. But just having that there taught me so much. Even now, when you're waiting for your husband to come, you should know what to look for. Like, I see every little red flag. Like, nah, you ain't the one. You ain't the one, because I can hear his voice in the back of my head. Like, no, you got to be careful, Taria. You got to be careful out here. Yeah. But no, just having that bond, it just help you just try to kind of make better choices with certain things and be the woman I am today. But we have fun together.
I love it. Yeah, he seems like a really great guy.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of men and love and marriage and all this stuff, you are you're a boss in your own right, right? Like, that's a part of your brand. Yeah, Boss's Kitchen. Yeah, you are extremely popular on social media. Yeah. Well over almost 200,000 followers on Instagram. And so that can bring a certain level of attention. Right. Right. And you talked about seeing red flags. Yeah. I got a 2-part question for you. One.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One, are you open to love right now in your life?
This year I am. I am open. This year I am taking a chance. I'm going for it. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. Last few years, I would tell people I'm taken. I would tell people I'm with somebody when it's not. It's just more of, I gave that time to God. I shut everything down. It's almost 2.5 years. Nothing. Yeah. I just put my whole focus on God, and I said, God, whoever you have for me, I am open. Yeah. But I want you to reveal it to me. Yeah. Yeah. I want to get this right. I don't want no more delays. I don't want to make no more, issues. I want to do it right. Yeah. So, it's been 2.5 years. Okay. Nothing. Yeah. Lock.
Period.
Don't play.
And then the second part of that question is, as someone with your stature, with your drive, forget the stature, right? Because social media and numbers and all that stuff, that's here today, going tomorrow, whatever. With your drive, with your personality, right? What would a man have to have in terms of a personality in order to lead you? What do you feel like you would need?
Oh, he got to be able to handle it. Again, like you were saying, I really need a man in my life that's going to lead, someone that's driven, someone that's, family oriented, someone that just knows how to love, not just with the mouth, but showing those actions. A lot of people talk, and I need actions. I want to see it, because I'm going to give you all the love you need. And that was my problems in the past. It's more of, you can't give to everybody. You want to make sure you give into the right person. Yeah. So I just want that same love reciprocated. Yeah. Someone that can take charge, like, baby, take the cape off. I got this.
Yes.
You home right now,
Yes.
So.
Yes. You ain't the boss up in here.
Yeah. not too controlling, because this can't be controlled.
Yes, not too that's the thing. Here's the thing. It's so funny. There's no man on earth that could control me unless he was slapping me around.
Right.
And even then, I'm going to get out of that. Right?
Yep.
And so being able to let my guard down a little bit helped me to know, oh, wait, you can calm down without losing yourself.
Right.
And it's been so important to be able to find that in a spouse. And, I'm believing God for you. But let me ask you this. Do you feel ready to be led?
Yes.
Like, do you feel ready to submit in that way?
I told God I'm ready. I did. I told him. It may come off like, I don't know. But I have took the time to work on Taria.
Yeah.
When I tell you 2.5 years, that means no dating, no one's calling my phone. I mean, you can get the little people that keep trying to sneak back in, but I don't entertain it.
Yep.
I took that time to heal. Again, I've been through abusive relationships, an abusive marriage, just verbal abuse as well. So when you have a lot of trauma there, you want to make sure you're healed before you try to jump into something, so you're not putting that on, someone else. But I have took the time. Yeah. If God need me to wait a little longer, I told God I'm willing to wait.
It's worth the wait.
It's no rush, because when you rush out there and you see it, I'm like, no, I waited this long for this. So no, it's just taking your time and just working on you. Yeah. Making sure you're healed correctly, so that you can give that love that's needed.
For sure. You talked about being in unfavorable relationships and situations. You got a son who is amazing, who is sweet and kind and hardworking. Yeah. And he may not be of an age for you to tell him everything you've been through. Right. But even him and your niece, what are you teaching them? What are you telling them to try to prepare them to either not go through some of the things you've been through or not perpetuate certain, stereotypes in males for your son? How do you teach them about that delicately?
That patience. That's our biggest word, patience. Like, I need you to be patient, understand. Even now, like, even if I do have it, I make them wait a little bit because they're so used to, I got it. I know my mama got it. She gonna get it. No, we gonna be patient. We gonna wait. And I know it's a lot of single moms. We try to give our kids everything because we don't want them to go without. But with them, I teach them a little differently. Sometimes it's okay to go without. So when we're doing our fasting or whatever, you're going without. We're not getting that today. So it teaches them, like, I need to be willing to wait, not just wait for that, but also wait on God. Even with my niece, she's a young lady. It's a lot going on right now. So even myself, I don't bring men around or date different people to show her, like, okay, oh, I don't see auntie doing that, so I need to make sure I'm not. So that's helping her. It's even helping my son. He's a guy too. It happened with boys too. He doesn't see that from me. And he would tell you, he never sees that. I keep that separate. When the time is right, then. Yeah. So it's just having that balance, teaching them patience, and making them wait some time. And making sure that you're setting the same example that you're trying to teach them. Yes. Because I can't be teaching them something and then I'm out there acting a fool. Right. Right. Because they're going to see it. Ready to turn up. Now they know I can turn up. I'm just saying, like, you just got to make sure you're you're being responsible.
Yeah. Do you feel like you are they're more inclined to become entrepreneurs because they're watching you?
Not my son.
Not your son?
Mm-mm.
No?
He's like, Ma, you work too hard. My niece said too, but AJ was like,
we going to work.
Ma, you work way too hard. And it bothered me the other night. Not in a bad way, but he said, Mom, I see you put so many people before yourself. Like, when the last time, he said that to me. He said, Mom, when the last time did you do that for yourself? Like, you had it, but you didn't, So he sees that. And that made me say, okay, dang, let me see what I need to change. Let me go act like I'm going to get my feet done. So it's just more of him Nah, he was like, he ready to go play ball and he loved to draw. He's an artist.
Oh, nice.
So he wants to do something different. And I'm not that type of parent to force you to do something because I'm doing it. But I will tell you, get off the game. We about to go do this, you know. And he loves having fun with me in the kitchen as well.
Yeah, yes, I see it.
He does.
He be doing his thing. That's why I asked. So I love that. You know, you talked a little bit about self-care. Yeah. And the lack thereof for you. You know, when you work as hard as you do. And so one of the things I've been telling people in my life is that 2024 showed me that whatever I thought hard work was before that, I wasn't working that hard.
Right.
Like
you burned out.
When you start really getting to it, when you really start getting after it, you realize, oh, this is what it means to really like that waking up at 3:00 in the morning, that, you know, being at, you know, doing multiple different things at the same time. Yeah. You start to see that. And so it is very easy to neglect yourself. Yeah. It is very easy to neglect the relationships closest to you, your best friend, your spouse, your mom and dad. Like, it's very easy. It's like, I'm busy. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. And one of the things that I'm working on for self-care right now for me is the care of the people that I love. So making sure I see my nephews and my brother and my sister-in-law more, making sure I see my sister more, making sure I see my mom more, trying to call my dad more, like things like that. Because I'm good. See, the thing about me is I'm gonna get my nails done. Right. You know, hair gonna be done. I'm gonna shop. I'm gonna do that part. But the actual self-care for my soul. Yeah. Like, what am I reading? Yeah. Am I fasting? Yeah. Am I taking time to pray? Yeah. Deep prayers, not just prayers for other people or prayers for what I'm doing that day or prayers for, but like deep heartfelt prayers. Yeah. I'm really working on that. So for 2025, what's something that you feel like you want to work on?
Mine is the opposite from yours. Okay. I'm a big giver. Yeah. And like my son was saying, I put myself last a lot. I'm not doing it this year. Yeah. It's me. Yeah. I'm putting me first. So yes, I'm going to still pour out a little bit, but I heard it clearly. It's time to just go all in for Rhea, me. So yeah, taking time for myself, putting that same energy that I put out into myself as well. Yeah. And I'm just ready, like you said, I'm open up to love. I'm ready to enjoy those things. Yes. You know, I've been working hard.
Yes, you have.
And the projects are coming soon. But as soon as that's done, I'm ready to like enjoy the other side.
Yeah. Enjoying the other side is so important. Yeah, it's like I'm ready the whole for that. Smelling the roses thing. Yeah. Like, you know, you got to really take the time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And there are seasons. There are seasons where you working hard. That's what you're supposed to do. Yep. You did it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those seasons where you in the field, you in the field. But also take those seasons to be on vacation and to relax and to chill, because I don't feel like I've ever seen you go on a vacation.
And I also post a lot, but I don't post everything.
Okay, so you do go on vacations.
Yeah. I post a lot, but I don't post everything. Because I'm like, you know, some people post everything.
Honestly, if you look at my page, you probably look like I don't go on vacation.
You won't show it. You'll show certain. That's what I'm saying.
Don't play any vacation.
I don't care how much I post. You would really never know. No, like they where they been. You'll see like little stuff, you know. But I do take time. But this year I want it to be a lot different. I'm ready for that. Yeah. Because I put the work in for years, you know. Just trying to build a business from scratch, like both of them. So I think it's time. And like you said, enjoying the fruits of your labor. That's been my prayer. I said, God, this year I'm ready to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Yeah, and you deserve it. Yeah. You deserve it. You bring so much light to our timelines.
Oh, thank you.
So much love, so much energy. You bring, like I said, not just food, but an experience to every event. There's a reason people call you back. There's a reason people love you. There's a reason people taste your food. They want to come hug you behind the table. They're like, girl, get out, you know, because you radiate a light. If you haven't gotten your flowers before, let me give them to you here.
Thank you, girl.
It is just such a pleasure to actually know you as a person, and that what you show on the internet is real. Yes. It's not some,
that's another thing, you know, too. Yeah.
Some fake personality or persona. It's actually
me.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Exactly. It's exactly who you are.
In the very most humble way. So and I'm happy for you too. Yeah. I'm so thankful just to see you come this far on the couch. Because I was praying. I was like, where's Lish? You got to get these videos out. And just to see you just flourishing and just stepping into that calling. Like, I know it's going to go so far. This is not the end. Y'all hear me? This is not the end. This girl's about to be global.
Thank you.
Global.
Thank you.
It's coming.
Thank you. In Jesus' name, I receive it. Listen, we end off our show with this question. And the question is, in the grand scheme of things, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be, I'm just a very effective person, so I'm trying to see how to put that there. Someone that's loving, just, I guess more everything was just based off this faith thing, you know, just faith. Like someone that has really trusted God through the whole process of her life. That's all I've been doing, just trusting God. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I've been in the boxing ring sometime, but just kept getting back up. So I would want my legacy to be something like that. Someone that just kept trusting God through the process and it never stopped. Never stopped through everything. Never stopped. Not one time.
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah.
The legacy is that I kept trusting God.
Kept trusting God.
Listen, y'all, this has been another episode of I'll Just Let Myself In, the podcast where we let ourselves in through our God-given doors. I hope that listening to Ria's story and just the things that we were talking about helps you to understand that no matter what's going on, pandemic, family stuff,
anything,
divorce, whatever, you can let yourself into where God has for you to go. You can also always pivot and change directions, because as long as you're listening to him, there's nothing that you can't do. And so we've been here doing this podcast. Shout out to Holy Culture Radio, which is where we also air on Monday nights. And I believe that so many of you will be blessed from this episode. If you love what you see here, please share with a friend. Please please subscribe, please give us a review. Please shout out Holy Culture Radio on their social medias and tell them that you're liking what you see. And last but not least, I want to encourage you to email us at speakers@lishspeaks.com. Tell us what you think. Write in questions. Ask us for advice. We'll make sure that we read it on the air. But I really do hope that this episode encouraged you. If you loved it, we want to hear from you. Listen, this has been another episode of I'll Just Let Myself In with Lish Speaks and Ria, a.k.a. Tell the people where to find you, where to follow you.
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram @_BossesKitchen, TikTok, Bosses Kitchen, or the website, www.bosseskitchen.com.
And don't just follow. Put in that order.
Put in that order, y'all.
Put in that order.
Go ahead and book your next event.
Right. Book your next event, right? Do what needs to be done. I'm trying to tell y'all, people say two things about my wedding.
Yeah.
The worship and the food. It was giving what needed to be gave.
Yes.
So yes, definitely lock in with Boss's Kitchen and make sure that you plan your next event. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your story and sharing your life. I already know it's going to encourage, inspire so many people. Yes. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. I'll Just Let Myself In with your girl Lish Speaks. See y'all then. Peace.